Let's get curious about stuff. I mean, we ask all these questions about history and people, but what if we ask and get curious about the things that make up our world? I mean, in fact, our world is made up of stuff, right? There are more inanimate objects on the planet than there are people. So, what would be the whole purpose about getting curious about our world if we didn't have at least some questions about all the stuff that makes up our world? You see, just because inanimate objects are by definition lifeless, it doesn't mean you can't find a life's worth of wonder wondering about these things we share our lives with. For example, your television, phone, computer, tablet, cars aren't alive, but could you imagine your life without them? Part of the reason that this would be tough is because they connect your life to the lives of others. What if we need stuff to stay alive? But what if too much stuff could also lessen our living experiences? It's a tough balance. But what if by questioning all of the stuff in your life, you can get more out of it and your life? Well, what if the questions that we'll be reading and discussing and getting curious about with stuff are also the silliest questions that you can imagine? You see, we're going to ask questions like, what if broccoli tasted like chocolate? Or what if your phone had feelings? And these certainly sound funny, but what if there's also a ton of serious lessons to learn by asking silly questions about stuff? And as it pertains to your life and maybe an activity or a challenge that you could do around this question of stuff and getting curious about stuff is to really look at the relationship or investigate the relationship you have with the things or stuff in your life, right? As we mentioned before, some things connect our lives to others, and some of the stuff we have makes our lives better, or in some cases, allow us to live, period. But what if there are other things in our lives that take away from our lives or distract us from others or other people or other experiences? I'd be really curious to see what you could do if you could sit down, and again, you don't have to investigate every single thing in your life, right? But see if you can find at least one thing, stuff, right, that's in your life that you think, you know what, if I could get rid of that stuff out of my life would improve. And then what would be something else that you said, you know what, that's something I need more of, or I need at all in my life? So what's something maybe that you're missing from your life that you think, well, if I could have that, my life would improve? And then what's something else that maybe you just need to change your relationship of? It's not a matter of getting or getting rid of. Maybe you just need to change how much time or how much you use it. Be really curious to see what you could come up with three things. Now again, the exercise is to come up with one thing you need to get rid of from your life. Another thing is you need to bring into your life. And then the third thing is something you just need to change or tweak the relationship that you have with it. And if you really want to push farther, in addition to identifying those three things, if you could even identify in just a sentence, that's all, is what is the relationship, or how would your relationship or your life be with that thing, that stuff, removed, added, or changed? So what's one thing that you could get rid of out of your life? And if you did so, what would be the improvement of your life? What's one thing you wish you could add to your life? And if you did so, what would be the improvement? And then what's one thing that you wish you could just change your relationship with? And if you did, what would be the overall improvement in your life? It may sound like a lot, but it's really just 3 sentences, right? Or 6 sentences when you add them all together. And promise you, your life will thank you for it. As always, thanks again for getting curious with us, and stay healthy.